Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Longboard Bros, 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games and sometimes friends. But Longboard Bros, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. It's been a while since I've done a sort of serious, waffly blog thing. Well, this isn't serious. I'll explain this. Bottom line is, right, I find, this doesn't piss me off or anything, but I'll get there in a minute. I find the people's relationships or expectation of social media absolutely fascinating. Not just YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. What people expect differs from person to person, and the way you would behave or consider it, appropriate to interact with someone differs from person to person. I guess to some degree, to the variant social media. But essentially there is a core theme across it. There's a reason for this video. Can I just quickly say I do apologise about the fan. It's so hot and I don't like heat, and apparently on Friday it's gone up to 30 Celsius, but the weather people, they were good because they said our advice to you is cool your room. Well, with what? Because when you cool your room with a fan, you just move the hot air around, so it feels like you're being basted in a fan-assisted oven. And well, we live in England, so aircon won't be invented for another 35 years, and I'm pretty sure when it is, it's going to run on coal. Anyway, someone left a comment on my one of my Marmite videos, and I've deleted the comments. I'm not going to send any hate to this person whatsoever. Well, they unsubscribed me or not, I don't know. I unsubscribed them because I'm just like, well, that's your attitude. I'm not really interested. If you want to see what they said, it's no biggie. It really is. It really isn't, I should say. It's just for one of those things where you just think, why would you say that? My brain cannot process this. But if you want to see what it is, go and check out my Facebook page, because it'll still be up there and you can't see the person's name. I'm not saying, because we're all out, so I'm not saying you would go and do anything stupid, but yeah, it's not about that. But this comment boggled my mind. I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, basically it means, does a subscriber have a right to expect a certain level of content from a channel? Does your viewer to some degree get to determine your content? And in this case it was someone said, look, I didn't sign up for this channel for, I signed up for this channel for game related talk, and videos. I didn't sign up for this channel for some guy eating shit for views. And that did annoy me, because it was like, well, they're not getting many views and I don't even advertise, so obviously not saying there's anything wrong with people who do, but obviously views isn't really an issue for me. And if you go back long enough in my channel, you'll see that I do stupid stuff, but that's kind of getting away from it. But I was just like, what? No. And so my question stands, what do you think? I'm going to tell you what I think, and I've touched upon this before, but I'm going to touch upon it again and then bring in my thoughts about why people treat social media, particularly YouTube or, visualized or televised, entertainment differently from what they do on TV. And I just find it funny that they expect more command or input on it than they would from television, when they're essentially the same thing. I'm really waffling, but the bottom line is my channel is my choice. I'm very, very appreciative of my audience. I don't know why I have the audience I do, and I feel very humbled and lucky to have that audience, but essentially this is my channel. As long as I play within the rules of what I consider good behaviour, polite behaviour, and what you have to be like in society, which is, be polite, be respectful, interact with people, in an adult, respectful way, and allow the taste. Biggest thing is taste is subjective, and I guess that comes down to the fact of the person who provides content as well. You don't like this, fine, but yeah, I always think this is my channel, and I think people seem to forget sometimes that ultimately this is my hobby. So it's like collecting stamps, it's like collecting coins, it's like, I don't know, tuning cars or bikes. I do whatever makes me smile that day, whatever makes me happy that day. Then there's no denying that core base of my channel is video gaming, and it will always be that. But it's human nature that if you do something and you enjoy it, regardless of as stupid as it's me being, parting tons of Marmite and Bovril and Vegemite and basically salt down my throat, when you do something and you enjoy it because it makes you smile, and that's the bottom line why I do it, it makes me smile. Ultimately I want to preserve being a child as long as I can and not admit to being an adult, because I don't want to be an adult. I've got my responsibilities covered. So if it makes me smile, if it gets, you know, make me feel, you know, make my inner child, you know, happy, then that's a good thing. So that's why I went with that. Will I go with that forever? No. But then if I go back to gaming, does that mean I'll never go back to something as stupid and as random as that? Or do I stand by doing it and saying it was an absolute blast? Hell yeah, I'll go back to doing something stupid, because ultimately my channel, while based in gaming, is a collection of things that I do to enjoy, which is the, you know, the textbook description of what having a hobby is. The fact that I have an audience for, you know, and it is the main aspect of my channel when I say core, for gaming, you know, is brilliant. And I will say that's what the majority of what I like to do is, but it doesn't mean that I can't do something completely unrelated to it. I've always found it funny that, because I don't watch everyone's videos, and that's no disrespect to those channels, some of the channels are ones I absolutely love, but I can just look at a title and say that won't appeal to me, or I'm just not into that system, or I don't want to see that person do that. But again, and what makes me laugh is I would just, you know, skip over it. You know, there's no loaded gun pointed at people's head that says you must watch everything, or people shouldn't feel afraid that if they don't watch something or comment on something, you know, that somehow they're going to offend the person who produces the content, because that's simply not true. I know from the videos I produce, and people, you know, comment like clockwork, and I know now which ones they'll do it on, and that's fine, because that's the nature of taste. Taste is subjective. But yeah, it's just, again, I just find it funny that we seem to treat social media differently from this. You know, you don't look at BBC and say, which you should do because you pay for it, you don't pay for YouTube yet, touch wood, and say, damn it BBC, I'm going to watch everything on here, and you know, which you should, again, you should do technically if you pay for it, and you know, I'm going to tell you what I want, because you don't. You just accept that there's some stuff on the BBC you're not going to like. You know, again, taste is subjective for everyone, but I would rather watch a kettle boil for 2.5 weeks than watch a single episode of EastEnders. But if you like it, good for you. But yeah, you skip over channels you don't want to watch. That's the nature of the beast. You're not going to enjoy everything, and you don't shout at the TV saying, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, because you know it just realistically is not going to happen like that. You know, they do stuff based on views, whereas I don't know, sometimes people look at social media and say, no, that's not what I want. If I signed up for this, then this is what I expect. And I just, you know, they're both sort of visualized media that are essentially the same. So why is one treated differently to some degree from the other? And I know it's not everyone. It's probably a, you know, very small minority of people. But I mean, have you ever had stuff similar to this? Again, it's not biggie. It's not pissed me off. It's just made the old brain box tick a bit, because it's like, wow, really? I just can't get my head around that. But yeah, basically, do you think that you, I don't know, you have some level of responsibility to your subscriber because they're subscribed to provide them with the content they want? But then is that kind of determining, you know, or you should let them determine your channel? Is your channel 100% completely and utterly in your hands? Because as I said, essentially it's your hobby and you do it for shits and giggles and to have a laugh, which is ultimately where I stand. This was a really weird, incorrect waffle even for me, but yeah, so that's what I think. I'd love to know what you think. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Feel sorry for you on Friday when it's 30. I'll see you later.